Today's GORPCORE trend has changed the discussion, more aptly defined by labels like the North Face, Patagonia, Columbia, and yes, even Nike. But today's look has almost entirely come from Japan. That's right, I said it, the wider silhouettes, the increase in minimalism, the better quality, and frankly, the stuff that just isn't made for outdoors. It's just the look. So today we're gonna list out 7 Japanese labels that provided the most influence to the newest iteration of the tradition of outerwear / GORPCORE. I'm Reggie Casual if you didn't know already, and this is the intro. Alright, so we begin our list with a relatively known by insiders label, that being And Wander. Like, that's the name, And Wander. While most labels that are GORPCORE out west are highly utilitarian, in Japan a lot more liberties are taken with style. And Wander fits that to a T. While it isn't all style and no substance, it does employ elements that are unlikely to be considered pure outdoor wear. However, its pieces do give a bit of a reflection of what a brand inspired by outdoor wear can achieve. Split seams on the side, skirt-like modular wraparounds, excessive layering, and even formal wear all make up the And Wander look. By all accounts, it is the perfect mid-range GORPCORE style option, making it great for individuals who want to employ the style without going through the search that is matching pieces together to create a unique look. Next, we got the Columbia Black label. And I know what you're thinking, like, what are you talking about, the Columbia Black? Columbia is American. What's going on? But wait, Columbia Black label illustrates a very core misunderstanding when, let's say, tourists from the West come to Japan for shopping. You see, when brands from the West come to Japan, they often enter licensing deals with Japanese companies, which often allows for the Japanese company to be a little bit more liberal with the brand. And quite often, the brand will go through a stylistic change, making it more palatable for the ever-hungry Japanese fashion enthusiasts. Such is the case with the Columbia Black label. So, just to reiterate this, there are Western brands in Japan that have completely different offerings that never reach across the ocean, which means all of you who came to Japan before who said, yo, we got that brand in America, I don't want to shop there, or if you came from any other country, yeah, you totally missed out on some Japan limited stuff. That's just a long-winded way of saying Columbia Black is a more style-heavy version of Columbia without compromising the quality standard set by Columbia proper. So, Columbia Black, if that's what you need. And if you're feeling a little bit misrepresented, white Mountaineering is next. We've spoken about white Mountaineering several times before, but it's worth mentioning again. For me personally, white Mountaineering is the pinnacle of GORPCORE stylistically. The designer, Yosuke Aizawa, even thoroughly admits that the label probably wouldn't be the best to wear for true outdoorsmanship. That being said, if you purely want something for style, there is no better place to start. However, it is a runway label, so it can be quite pricey. The brand goes through a flow state design-wise, as early in each collection, it's kind of GORPCORE adjacent. It has the influence, but it has more heavy nods to the seasonal theme. But by the end of each collection, it gets noticeably utilitarian and darker, going into almost techwear territory. Yosuke Aizawa was mentored by Junya Watanabe, so you probably know that name. And you should expect nothing less than great direction, great design, great materials, and just overall greatness. I said that one too many times, but you know what I mean. Next is Y3, and it's obviously a cheat. It isn't necessarily GORPCORE or athleisure or even techwear, but I'd be lying if I say it didn't at least inspire all 3 of those style genres. We all know Y3 comes from the mind of Yohji Yamamoto and Adidas. In fact, it was Yohji Yamamoto who was just tired of people not wearing his stuff, so he made Y3. And we basically understand the look. The great thing about Y3 though is we get a more approachable version of Yohji's design language, if you in fact like it. It maintains a lot of the layers and asymmetrical themes seen in official Yohji runways, and due to its popularity, it's been a mainstay in the fashion world for over 20 years now, which is a testament to Yohji's forward thinking and timeless design language. So if you like Yohji and you like outdoors wear, maybe a little bit of athleisure mixed in, Y3 is your cup of tea. It is expensive when it's not on sale. Next, we got Descente. Descente is a label that deserves a whole lot more credit for its contributions to the outdoor space. Stylistically, it holds its own with a more minimal take on outdoor wear, but don't let that fool you. The tech and hidden bells and whistles within each piece will astound you. Pants that need no belt, hidden ventilation and downs, and fantastic materials make Descente very likely the premier outdoors brand anywhere. That's not hyperbole, it's that good. Its flagship Mizusawa down is famously water resistant and insulated to perfection, but somehow pulls off that aforementioned ventilation I was talking about, so you don't get all sweaty when you're like in the wind. It's crazy. Mix that in with some ingenious hidden hood design and you got a winner. Keep that in mind, I'm just talking about a jacket. One jacket. The label has plenty of other pieces that are classic. And if you are a tech wear fan, its darker palette will definitely make you wonder why you've been messing around with cheaply made ridiculousness this entire time that isn't named acronym. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Next, we got Snow Peak. Obviously, for the people who know about this, they know Snow Peak. It's probably the best balance of style and function you can find. Another great thing about it is it's available out west too, so you won't miss out on much except for some cool traditional nods that are only available in Japan that'll probably make you salivate once you see these images. Snow Peak is best defined as kind of like the capital of outerwear, employing Japanese traditional techniques on top of standard outerwear pieces and materials. This is particularly noticeable in its sub-label Yamai, where the Japanese influences are unmistakable. The result is a highly functional label that just looks plain cool to boot. Put it this way, anytime an outdoor label can employ kimono elements with down material or judo OX jackets or canvas noragi, plus much more fantastic elements, you know you're messing with something on a whole nother level of detail and commitment. But it is pricey, mind you. No, it does not come cheap. A level of that commitment it's much higher because of how expensive it is. But what can you expect from a brand that uses wild silk on some of its pieces? Yeah, you just kind of expect it, but it is wonderful. We end this list with the obvious. Everybody knows. The North Face Purple Label / Nanamika. Anyone who has studied Japanese fashion to any degree knows about the style-heavy North Face Purple Label, available fully in Japan, although it has been released in the West in small batches, I guess you could say. It's basically the idea of the Columbia Black Label, but on steroids, bringing that brand of North Face function to a very noticeably toned down color array that's suitable for every day rather than just hiking the Alps. It's one of the most coveted out west because of how approachable it is, and while it's not gonna blow you away with daring experimentation, it is of a better make and more pleasant to wear if you're a fan of the contemporary or just regular street, or you just wanna wear something nice. One thing that must be mentioned though is the North Face Purple Label / Nanamika is another case of a brand coming out west and having a different identity. The North Face in Japan, North Face proper, is run by the Goldwyn Company that also has deals with the North Face proper, like regular North Face, Champion, and Helly Hansen, which means those labels are very different from their Western counterparts and what they offer. So when people say Japan gets all the best-ish, they aren't necessarily lying, because they're getting all of the best stuff from the West, and then they have all the Japanese stuff too. But a big reason that Japanese brands and Western brands that come to Japan can take these chances is because of the average fashion aptitude of the Japanese. It's considerably high, and most of the individuals who are going to partake are packed into one city, that being Tokyo, which means you don't need a ton of distributors. So Japan is kind of optimally suited for experimentation. So hopefully Japan can assist you in standing out a bit, set from the rest, but only if you commit to GORPCORE. Don't just be doing GORPCORE because it's the trend or because we're moving on from workwear. That's not it. Or just do whatever you want. I don't really mind. It's totally up to you. That's not my decision to make. Do what you want. But I do mind if you subscribe, so do that. Give a like if you enjoyed this video. Give some ideas and turn on those noties, those notifications, and talk about some other lists that you would like to know about some other brands in Japan. That's always good. Put it all in the comments. But most importantly, keep it locked right here for all of your info on international fashion, culture, and business from Tokyo. It's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And I'll see you guys in a minute.